Check this out. This video is sponsored by Nebula, but this is the Mars 3. That is sick. You just fold down sort of a lid and then it boots up automatically. And also, you can use this projector without any sort of cord because it has a built-in battery. So a couple of days ago, I went to one of my friends, Erik. He has built this amazing cabin in the middle of the woods with his own hands. But the thing here is that he doesn't have any sort of electricity at all. And I wanted to hang out with him, enjoy a couple of beers, and then watch something on YouTube together with him. So we put up this big bed sheet in front of his cabin and then aligned the Mars 3 perfectly in front of the sheet and then just enjoyed some YouTube videos. And that is something that wouldn't be possible without this projector, because the built-in battery enabled it. The first thing that I want to talk about is the lumens. This thing has 1,000 lumens built into it. So you're going to be able to use this whenever you're out camping, in your living room, and wherever you have sort of like a moody, dark evening-ish environment. It also has a 40-watt Dolby sound built into this unit as well, so you're going to have some really good sound coming from this thing when you're watching a movie. But let's talk about the battery, because that is what I think is one of the coolest things. So I have a built-in battery that is going to give you 5 hours of actual watch time. And the unit itself is actually built like a tank because it has an IPX3 water-resistant classification. It is also impact-proof to 0.5 meters. So I would be able to sort of like drop it from 0.5 meter. Not that I'm going to do that, but if you were to drop it or flip it over, then you don't have to worry that it's going to break, because it should be able to survive that. On top of the handle, you have a built-in control panel with everything that you need to navigate around the different menus. Even though you do get a remote in the box with this, you don't need to actually use the remote. I set this thing up outside without using the remote at all. And it worked great because you have this joystick up top where you can just navigate around everything that you need to navigate around with. And here in the back, you have a status screen as well, so that you can see how much battery that your unit has left. And you also have a mode button that switches between the different energy efficient saving modes or regular modes. And in the bottom here, you have a built-in stand, so that you can fold out and get the perfect angle on the projector when you are out camping or when you are on the go and you just want to smack it up in front of your house or whatever it might be. I think that this is fantastic because it gives you sort of like the perfect angle without having to find a rock or a branch or anything else to put under the unit. And when you're starting this thing up, you don't really need to worry about having it entirely leveled because it has something that's called auto Keystone feature. So the entire screen is sort of like gonna adjust itself depending on where the projector is standing and where you've angled it. So I angled the projector. Bam! And now it's leveled. So if you're having a little bit of an uneven surface, it doesn't really matter because the projector is going to do its thing and adjust it for you. And when it comes to the AI brightness, you have the mode switch here in the back. When you press this, you can switch between echo mode, which is going to save you a lot of battery basically, and also reduce the brightness of the screen. But when I go back to regular brightness, you can see that it increases. When I have it switched to AI, it adjusts according to the ambient light in the room. So if I drag the light down, then what the projector will do is that it's going to reduce the amount of light that is needed to actually project the display. So if you're watching a movie, for example, in sunset, then as the sun is going down, your projector will actually use less battery the further down the sun goes. But that was just the front. So now move to the back. And this is actually pretty sick. You have a built-in light, but also a couple of different outputs that you can use. So you got AUX, you got HDMI, and then you have 2 USB ports that you can charge with, USB-A and USB Type-C. So you can actually use this as a power bank. If you're outside, you want to make sure that you have enough internet to be able to stream a movie, you can plug your phone straight into the projector while you're actually using the projector. Or you can just use it as a power bank if you want to as well. This light actually helped me when I was camping outside of Eric's cabin. When it comes to the battery life of this thing, again, you can get 5 hours of watch time, but that is if you're watching at 300 lumens, so you're not having it at the most powerful brightness level. But it's also enough power so that you can charge your phone like 14 times if you want to do that. Now that you know everything that it contains, you might be wondering, how big can the actual screen go? Well, it can go anything from 30 inches up to 200 inches, which is sick. So you can have a personal movie theater right outside. As long as you have a bed sheet and a couple of paracords, then you can just rig everything up the way that you want it to. And we had a great time sitting there watching a couple of his YouTube videos of his cabin being built on his cabin, which was sort of like some Inception kind of vibe. But having this as a fun thing when I'm hanging out with friends is something that I highly recommend, because I like being able to go out camping and just have something like this. And to think that we're living at a time where it's possible to actually bring with you your own entertainment setup outside and just have a night for yourself in the middle of nowhere is sick. And when Eric went to bed and I went into my tent, I couldn't use this aside, but that is where this thing comes in. Check this out. This is the Nebula Capsule 3. This thing is not as powerful as this, of course, because it's smaller, but it gives you a total output of 300 lumens. You have a built-in battery in this as well. You have an HDMI port here in the back, and then the entire touch panel so that you can navigate around without a remote, once again, even though you do get a remote in the box of this thing. But being able to use this in the tent and sort of like project a movie as I was lying there on my mattress was actually a pretty surreal experience. And you just want to lay down in the tent, relax, and enjoy a little bit of a nice movie by yourself. That is where you lay down, and then just let the projector do its thing, and then you can just enjoy the movie on the big screen, but in a tent. You know, when I was a kid, being able to do something like this was something that I could only dream of. It would never happen. And living in time and era where we're actually able to do something like this is sick. The built-in battery in this is going to give you approximately 2.5 hours of playtime, but you can actually use this as a Bluetooth speaker if you want as well. And then you're going to be able to have 10 hours of actual speaker time if you're using it for that. So I'm going to drop a link down below to both of these products so you can head over there and check it out. I think that they're cool. I like them, and they are actually very fun to bring with when you're hanging out with some friends, having a good time. Just want to enjoy a couple of videos and have a couple of beers and whiskey and, you know, have a good camping trip. This one is my favorite though. Really like the Mars 3. Link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe, because I'd love to see you in the next video. Again, thank you so much to Nebula for sponsoring this video. Peter from Sweden is saying goodbye.